My brother.
My brother Aiden.
Our brother.
My younger brother Ian.
My brother Hunter.
I have a younger sister.
My brother.
They assume that is hard.
People assume that he's not normal and that there's something wrong with him.
They assume that it doesn't really affect me and only affects him.
And how does it affect you?
It makes it harder for me to understand what he's meaning.
They definitely assume that you're a really patient person. Growing up with a person with autism, you definitely do learn patience. And, they also assume maybe it's a bit harder for you to get along with your sibling.
A lot of people assume that he doesn't understand things and that he isn't really capable of what everyone else is capable of.
Having a brother with autism has made us definitely more passionate people. We want to advocate for people who can't. So not even just people with special needs, but people who are treated unfairly and who don't have a voice. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely makes us more patient. People always stare, but you kind of need to zone them out. And some people just don't understand, or they're not.
Which is why we
autism.
want to advocate and teach people more about this disability and other disabilities like autism, because it's not going to go away anytime soon. So the best thing we can do is to educate people.
Having a sibling with autism, a lot of people think that my sister, doesn't understand anything, that she's totally incompetent.
They automatically assume that they're physically disabled.
They think that he's broken, or that he acts a little weird.
Biggest thing is that people assume Ian can't do anything. They think that you have to hold his hand. He can't think for himself. He doesn't make decisions well.
They assume that people with autism usually don't understand a lot of things, but in reality they understand a lot more.
Sometimes we can't always do things together because he wants to do something and I want to do something different.
Probably going in public, because a lot of people stare at him and maybe they might laugh at him and stuff like that.
And why do you think they do that?
Well, because they don't understand and they think it's funny, but they don't understand that that's part of autism.
Having a sibling with autism, you constantly have to consider them in your future, regardless of where you're going to go, what you want to do in life. No matter what you aspire to be, you always have to keep them at the center of your life. For me personally, I actually made the decision of staying at home for university because of my sister. I chose to stay there because I needed to be there to care for her, to support my family. I'm the oldest sibling and I'm also the only sibling. And also my parents are older in age too, so it's very hard for us. My career plans, where I want to live, where I want to go, who I want to marry, basically it's the most challenging thing is probably it's not even him that's challenging, it's getting people to understand how he learns.
I think one of the most challenging things is that not everybody understands how a child with autism thinks or how they act all the time. So people think that my brother's weird, and that's definitely not the case. Judgy's one of the coolest people I know, for sure, hands down. Another hard thing about having a sibling with autism is we always have to work together as a family to make sure that someone's always home to care for him, and we always have to revolve our schedules around him. He is definitely the center of our family.
Always having to be patient with him and always making sure they're not wandering off or something.
Communication is really hard. It's not always easy to ask what he wants, or when he's sick, we have no idea what's wrong with him.
I definitely see Ian's going to have to live with me. So a lot of the stuff I think about is in the future when I have a significant other, kids and stuff. I also think that I'm going to have another room for Ian in the house. I know that whoever I end up with is going to have to be accepting of him. They have to understand what he goes through, not just what their trouble is having to live with him.
How you always have to make sure there's trustworthy, caring people looking after him, because there's not always going to be those people that care about him as much as you do.
Getting him to learn new things, getting him out of his comfort zone,
It's definitely learning that they learn things maybe a little bit slower than you do, possibly. It's getting over the fact that, you know, you have to give them a little more time to do things.
Treat everyone the same, because I mean everyone has a right to be treated the same. Just because they're autistic doesn't mean they should be treated differently.
For me, Shauna teaches me that unconditional love is possible. That someone could just love you entirely with your whole heart and with nothing, no judgment, no resentment whatsoever in what you do. And I could literally do anything in my life, and my sister would just constantly be there to love and support me. And that's a gift that not a lot of people have, and I'm very, very blessed to have that from her, because I was able to grow a lot in myself as a person because I had that constant love and support.
Judgy has taught us how to have unconditional happiness. He literally puts a smile on everyone's face that he comes in contact with, which is one of the best things about him, I think, because if you're ever feeling down or angry or anything like that, Judgy will definitely turn that right around, just because he's such a loving guy and he teaches us hard work. He always puts 110% in everything he does, and that makes us as a family work harder to be better ourselves. Yeah.
From Ian, the biggest thing I've learned is to be like open and accepting of others. He's really taught me to like not just read people for like first impression. I've been able to like help people that I really didn't think I would have, or I didn't think I'd give some people a shot, but because of Ian, you give that person a shot and they surprise you.
He teaches me a lot. He teaches me how to be happier and like makes me laugh. Just kind of to let life be life and like don't stress everything.
But having a sibling with autism has given me a different look on other people with other disabilities. You know, it's a real eye-opener.
That everybody thinks differently.
Patience is the #1 thing you're going to learn with a sibling with autism. I know when I was younger that was something I really had to develop.
Energetic. He likes to explain his opinion and likes to be in, like, by himself.
When we want music on, he puts on his music.
If I had to describe Kieran, I would say he's a man with a lot to give. He's one of those guys that if you give him the opportunity to open up to you, he will just pour his love out to you.
He's really caring and gentle. He wouldn't do anything to hurt anyone. Like, he's like my best friend. We're always like playing together and stuff.
I'm really protective of him. He's my big brother, but I'm like he gets mad, I get mad, but we also laugh a lot and have a fun time together. And
Ian's got this ability to just kind of sit in the room and he'll be around everyone, and you don't notice him. He doesn't really do much. He's just sitting there reading his book or eating or watching TV, doing his own thing, and everyone else will be talking around him. And they'll get quiet for a second, and Ian will say a one-liner and just lights up the room and everyone laughs. And he's got this ability to take in a lot of information and really like interpret it in his own way. And the way that he makes jokes, you get to see the way that his brain works and how he forms his thoughts. And it's just the most interesting and like unique thing about him.
I would say he's hilarious, he's artistic, he's very caring, very silly. He's also very happy. You know, I hardly ever see him when he's angry.
Shauna to me is someone that I can always go to when I feel most vulnerable. I can go to her knowing that no matter, even though she's nonverbal, no matter what I say to her, she'll just love me endlessly. And to me, Shauna is love. She's unconditional love, and she's just the biggest blessing in my life. And she is the most important thing in my life. life. She's the one thing that I will do anything to work for. Shauna inspires me to advocate for those who don't have a voice, and she inspires me to work in the field with disabilities and to center my life around it.
He's a really loving guy. He's always very affectionate, giving everyone hugs, high fives, getting people's face to say hello.
Judgy's really smart. He outsmarts all of us all the time. Like, we don't give him enough credit sometimes. Definitely, Judgy, you don't think he's paying attention, but he 100% is paying attention. He literally can wrap all of it out to us. He listens to everything. He looks at, sees what everyone's doing. Like, he's always that one guy that's paying attention when you don't think anybody is, for sure.